Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's Brave Cat here with another Frontier Signals update. It is February 3rd, and I'm going to be just kind of covering all the solar activity and see what's going on with the earthquakes. So yeah, we are in the middle of being absolutely pummeled by different solar flares. Let me take a better look at it here. So, this looks like the new normal, but if you take a look at the 7 days, this is how things should be, more or less. Pretty calm, pretty stable, and then sometimes, we get some solar flares, but this is completely out of control here. So especially when you look at the M class here, we have basically been in a sustained X-ray flux on that level. And of course, we've had some pretty major X flaring. Now, the lucky part is most of these flares haven't really produced that much of a coronal mass ejection, so there hasn't actually been a whole lot of plasma erupting from these events. However, it looks like we're going to get a pretty gnarly radiation storm for the next couple days. And then on the 5th is basically when the X flare is going to finally reach us. And then we go down here, we can see the Enlil spiral. Now see, okay, here's the thing that I don't understand about this. Is it doesn't seem to, or maybe I don't know what I'm reading, it doesn't seem to tell you which flare this is actually predicting, which is kind of really annoying, that it doesn't just tell you or somehow show you like which flare this is trying to predict, because this is a different one than what was shown yesterday. And so I don't know if this is basically one of the newest X flares, maybe this one. Is it a re-prediction of the X8? Is it this one? I don't know. There's been easily 30 to 40 flares total that are M class and above. Just in the past couple days here. Well, we're looking at the last 3 days now. So yeah, I don't know which one this is predicting because there's been like 30 of them. So this definitely looks like one of the X flares. And again, it's predicting that, this might be an updated model for the X8. Just judging by kind of the way it's coming out of there, that's pretty much what the X8 looked like. And so, it looks like we're going to get a glancing blow, and it's basically predicting that we're going to avoid the worst of it. So I hope that's the case. But those sunspots aren't gone away yet. So going here, let's zoom out a little bit and go down here first. So again, this isn't even still. Now at this point it is directly facing us. But we still have, pretty much like 24 to 36 hours until this thing starts to make its way pointed away from us again. And taking a look at the magnetic complexity, it's changed quite a bit, just the overall little shapes and spots here, but the complexity itself, it is still very much alive and ready to throw more. So that's basically what we're looking at. Again, I think based on what's coming at us already, it's going to be pretty crazy, but I don't think, I don't even take my word for it. Doesn't seem like anyone thinks it's going to be a grid down scenario. However, that could change on a dime. If, because at this point, now we're in the danger zone for where this sunspot group is positioned. Now we're at the point where if we get a major X-flare coming out of here with a coronal mass ejection, it's basically a 50-50 chance if it directly hits Earth. And with everything else going on, we're going to be hit with all the previous activity that has already happened. And, we could easily get some sort of 1-2 punch to basically have a total field collapse of the magnetic fields. And, it's not just going to be pretty auroras and, fun and games. Like, we're going to have some serious shit to deal with. Because the technological age that we live in is extremely fragile to these kind of things. And, there's nothing we can really do. So, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Pretty much. So let's see what else here. Of course we've got the radio blackouts. There's already been tons of radio blackouts. Transportation systems have been having major issues. Localized internet and, radio communications. We've had so many blasts happen already. So, yeah, that's definitely struggling. And, yeah, it's no joke. Even if it's not being touted all over mainstream media, of course they wouldn't tell you about this. No, that's what all these other distractions are for. What celebrities are doing, politics, all this rage baiting that's going on right now. It's, it's not all to distract from this. Like, everything, there's about 1 million distractions distracting you from 1 million other things right now. And this is one of the more important things going on that is being distracted from, definitely. Those that know already know, and everyone else is kind of just left in the dark. But this is completely just wow. We've had some X-flares pop off that were facing away from Earth that were worse than this. But we haven't had anything directly facing us that has been this intense, okay? And again, the magnetic field is weakening. That's why we're seeing auroras at such low latitudes, like in Florida. Completely not normal. Unless we have, maybe like an X20 flare at full magnetic strength. Like, okay, we could see it then, but, we've had these X2s, these even like long duration M flares happen, or just a coronal hole stream, and then all of a sudden we see auroras at mid to lower latitudes. No, that's ridiculous. So yeah, just eyes open, be prepared, don't be scared. And with that, I'm going to take a look at the earthquakes here. There was a 5.9 that struck here in Myanmar. Don't really know much about that place, but that name rings a little bit of a bell. I've heard Dutch mention this place before. Seems like it, it gets hit fairly often. So yeah, I got a 5.9 there, meaning the energy that was pretty much hovering over the Philippines has moved on, more or less. And of course, we got a new set of earthquakes coming in here. And on the west coast, we still have an ongoing, pretty major swarm. Just in the past, not even the past full day, like pretty much this morning, overnight, we still have a continuation of the swarm. And yeah, you already know I'm probably going to take a look at a few of these. Let's try to pick a few. Now there's something else. Okay, so this is clearly, yep, right here, based on the beach ball model here. you know, these are all strike slip events, most of them anyway. And, you know, I was looking up some others going all the way down to Los Angeles. And so basically, and then of course, even on the tremor map, we have a lot of events on here. So basically what's happening is the entire subduction zone here, the entire plate, you know, is having a major slow slip event. It almost seems like kind of like a runaway slip event, to where at this point we're just looking for things to slow down, which would actually mean pressure building at this point. So we're kind of hoping that we continue to see the pressure release, basically. So that these, you know, these are not foreshocks. This is literally just the plate flipping away and moving pretty tremendously. Especially when we see most of these have the same strike slip plate movement here. So yeah, basically if things stop and something gets budged up here, basically, then that's when the pressure is going to be building up for something bigger. So right now, pressure is being released, the plate's moving rapidly, but I don't know, it doesn't really look too good. So again, I'm going to keep monitoring that. Yeah, that's about it for now. You can take a look at some of these here. You know, they've all got the orange beach ball with the sharp corners, meaning it is a strike slip event. So the plate itself is moving pretty rapidly based on the number of events and the magnitude. And, you know, again, it's reflected here on the tremor map. So, I mean, this whole all of California is moving right now. And if it stops moving while all this pressure is going through here, then that's when we're going to need to worry about something bigger happening. So, yeah, that's kind of where that seems to be at. No megaquake right now, but that could change. You know, it's like we're basically in a state of limbo, waiting for disaster. So yeah, it is what it is, really. So that'll be about it for now. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.